Hello and welcome to the Northern Monkeys Cricket Show. We have day one of the second test here. Well, not here, but out in India. India take control on a difficult, very pitch. But we have a full house. Mick's here. Hello, Mick.
Hello.
And Wayne is illuminated by the sun behind him. You look very, very sunny there, Wayne.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I had some issues trying to get the picture right, but we'll manage through. It's fine.
Wayne's showing his colours today. True colours with his Yorkshire hat and Yorkshire shirt. So
gonna support the boys.
So after the day one finishes, India 300 for 6. Rohit Sharma with the pick of the batsman. More than half of India's runs from Rohit Sharma, 161 off 231. The first point we'll mention, Mick, is basically the pitch. And the pitch in the last game was a very, very difficult pitch. This one doesn't like a very good test cricket pitch, let's put it that way.
What it looks like is that they've taken the old pitch, sprinkled a bit of topsoil on top of it, put a light roller over it, and just left it so that every time ball bounces, it just penetrates the topsoil, explodes everywhere. I cannot believe for 1 minute that on day 5 there'll be any pitch left at all. There's no way on this earth that if it does get to day 5, there's going to be anything left to play cricket on. But,
yeah, I'd be amazed if it gets to day 5. I'd be absolutely amazed. I'd be amazed if it gets to day 3.
Yeah.
Wayne, your thoughts on the pitch?
I was about to say the same thing as what you've just said, to be honest with you. This has the potential to be ended early due to the state of the pitch. Because I don't think I've ever seen a day one pitch like that.
No,
I don't know.
Quite frankly, it's embarrassing. I get there's an aura around with the way that they do pitches in India and quite a lot of subcontinent, but that's I don't think should be playing. You shouldn't be playing Test cricket on it. I think there will be issues in the days to come. Like Mick said, I've just sort of I don't know what they've done to it, other than maybe let a dog roll in it for a bit, so there's a bit more dust coming in. I don't understand what the groundsman's logic was when creating a Test wicket. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest.
Yeah, you want a test pitch to be a little bit of something for everybody, and this is only going to be sort of good enough for the team who bats first, which makes the toss vitally important. Whereas in the last test, England won the toss, so England were in a very good position. But the pitch when India started batting hadn't deteriorated that badly. It was still an okay pitch. They still got a decent score to prepare India in their first innings. It wasn't a terrible score.
yeah.
But we're now at a point where we're saying India got 300, and that's a fantastic score. Well, 300 shouldn't be a fantastic score. 300 should be basically average. But on this pitch, it's looking like a superb score, which is absolutely crazy. It's been a bit of fun. Jack Leach having a lot of joy into Mick.
Yeah. He's bowling well. He's bowling all right. All the spinners have bowled all right, with the exception of Moeen, who's gone for quite a lot. But having said that, he's gone for quite a lot, but he's turned it just ridiculous. I mean, the ball that got Kohli out was just fantastic, a fantastic delivery. But he's been expensive. Jack Leach, less expensive, couple of wickets. Yeah, I have no issue with the bowling at all. They've batted very well as well. There's only the pitch and one other issue that I have on the day's play, really. But the pitch particularly the pitch particularly is just.
I wonder what that second issue could be.
Yeah. But before we start talking action, we should talk about the changes. 3 changes for each team. Butler's come out, which was planned anyway. Butler won. I think he's out for the series now, just rested. Folkes comes in for him, which I quite like. I'm a bit of a fan of Folkes. And then Moeen Ali comes in for Bess, and Ollie Stone comes in for Archer. Archer has an elbow issue. I would look at
there's been 4 changes.
Is there 4th?
Rhodes coming for Anderson.
Right, I'll read that one.
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter, does it? It's like for like.
Yeah, I think there's three key changes. That's what you're saying here, Alex.
Yes, basically. Yeah, you're right.
But you're doing these things live. It's fantastic, right? That's why I put it in there before people started telling us we were getting it wrong.
Very good. The only one that's maybe a surprise, but not necessarily a surprise, is Bess. Now he's got a fair amount of wickets waiting for, I suppose, not many runs. But at the same time, particularly in the second innings, in the first test, he was dreadful.
He looked defeated in that second innings. Yeah. So I'm not particularly surprised by the decision, and I think there's going to be a lot of rotation as the games go on in this series anyway. And I think we were kind of expecting Moeen to come back in and add that extra bit of depth with bat. So as long as it's not a long-term thing, and as long as it is going to be a rotation from this series, I don't have an issue with that particular. It is a little bit harsh on him, as he's got a lot of wickets, with about 75% of dross, but he's got a lot of wickets. But I don't have an issue with that just for this test.
Good, I'm glad.
He'll be, having seen the state of the pitch, he'll be crying into his tea now, though, won't he, John Best?
Yeah, true. Ollie Stone got his wicket. I think his third ball of the innings. It looks a tidy little player, Ollie Stone, doesn't he, mate?
Yeah, he does. He does. It looks to me to have a strange action. I don't know whether it's just me. I don't know. It's very, very front on. Yeah. All the time, even when he's delivering the ball, he's almost face on to the batsman, which it's not an action I've really ever seen before. But hey, you know, if it's effective, it's effective, isn't it? He is him and Broad, they're gonna have their work cut out for them in this Test match. Well, I said that. You said that. If this pitch continues to deteriorate, I know we're talking about it, that ball could bounce anywhere. And if it's bouncing anywhere at 80, 85 miles an hour, then as a batsman, you're going to start to worry, aren't you? So we'll have to see. But, he might have a part to play there.
True. India's changes, 3 changes. I have checked this one. This is only 3 changes. This one win. Bumrah comes out. I think he's just rested. Nadeem and Washington Sundar, all 3 come out. Mohammad Siraj, Kuldeep Yadav, and a debut for Axar Patel, who is currently batting. As well, at the end of play, he's batting. Kuldeep Yadav, Wayne, big in a spinner in the mystery spinner. He's very, very good in one-day international, a bit inconsistent in test matches, but still a solid player to bring in.
Yeah, I won't mind having him as my 12th man. But then again, Nadeem was kind of awful, to be brutally honest, in that first test. I think Washington Sundar feel a little bit aggrieved. Given his performance with the bat, then again, wasn't good enough with the ball. I don't know enough about Axar Patel, if I'm honest. I appreciate he's on debut, but I don't actually know anything about him, other than the fact that he's actually batted now. But I think probably the right call from India. Only issue they've got is they've got quite a long tail now with Ashwin 7. And it'd be interesting to see how that gets on for him. In the first session tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because when we come back first session, the ball will be basically still new when they have 3 or 4 overs with it. So it's still going to be pretty hard coming into that. So it'll be England will be positive. It's not a terrible score from England's point of view, but at the same time with the pitch, it's potentially difficult. One point of controversy today, which and in the end it didn't have any impact, which is very, very lucky. I think the third umpire, is very, very lucky that it basically the wicket fell a couple of balls later. Mick, do you want to take us through this one?
Well, yeah, I mean it's clearly a catch. The ball's bounced up, missed the bat, hit the pad, then hit the glove and got a short leg. The umpire has given it not out. I think the signal was not out, wasn't it? England have reviewed it immediately, and then when we've gone through the rigmarole with the third umpire, we're checking for the bat, we're checking for the edge onto the pad. Nothing at all. But every time they run through, we stop the film before the most important part of it. Every time, and England then complain about it to the umpire, and they go back and recheck it for the LBW. which clearly it wasn't because it pitched outside another line of stumps on leg side, but still don't check for the glove. It's absolutely shocking from the third umpire. Shocking performance. How you wouldn't run that film through all the way through anyway is beyond me. Honestly, I genuinely don't understand, and it makes me. I don't know. It makes it. I question the integrity. I have to because. Go on.
Yeah, well, something. I complimented the umpires in the first test. I thought they were really good. There was one or two decisions that were overturned, but I thought in the whole they were really good. There was some controversy before the start of the series about having two Indian umpires umpiring an India home test match. And in the first test, I didn't feel there was any issues at all with that. However, it felt like that was deliberate and that they weren't following it all the way through.
Yeah, that's how it felt to me.
It's easy to sit here and make those accusations, but even after you've made that complaint, to then not check it again, given the situation they were in, Rowett was batting really well, but they were 86 for 3 when Rahane came in. I would normally back up the umpires and see where they were coming from, but I have to leave that question mark over them for the integrity. So I agree with Mick there. I think it felt deliberate, to be honest.
It's the issue for me. Exactly. That's exactly the point. As soon as Root goes, no, we weren't appealing for that. We were appealing for this. Why not go back and check it? Because they didn't go back to the original footage. They moved on to LBW, and you could see the umpire sort of on the pitch going to Root to sort of say, we sort of put his hands up to him and say, we're checking it, or to say, yes, we have checked it when they clearly haven't. It was bizarre. I can't believe, and this is the issue, I can't believe that a professional international grade umpire would be that incompetent. And that's what it is. That's what it would be. Not checking that is incompetence, because you've got to check everything. That's the whole point of DRS, is to check to see if anything's out. And the thing is, if you're watching the footage, if you're watching it at full speed, you can see the batsman pull his hands out of the way at the last second, and you can see the worry in his face. Yeah. So you can see there's something in the second impact. I don't know if that's the right phrase to use. There's something there.
The thing is, you watch that at full speed first time before any replays or anything else, and you know immediately what they're appealing for. You know immediately they're appealing for a catch off the glove. It's obvious to anyone. Yeah. So which is why when we first run through the first slow-mo, spin vision or whatever it's called, the head-on one, they stop it before the important part. And it just seemed, it didn't make any sense to me. I'm trying to think, well, why are you looking for baton to pad? What are you looking for? It's definitely not that. We could see that from first view. Dodgy that, I'm afraid. Don't like it.
England did get the review back, and I say Rahane got out. If it wasn't the next ball, it was the ball after. They gave it a Costa run or something like that. So it didn't, again, thankfully, from the umpire's point of view, there's no real impact on the game. Because again,
why did we get the review back? Why did we get the review back?
Because they made a mistake. England shouldn't have lost the review. They clearly realised they made a mistake, and they couldn't have given you out 5 balls later.
No, I accept that.
But because it left England with 1 review left, which is not good.
An honest mistake is an honest mistake. I can't look at that and say it's an honest mistake. It's very difficult to word, because I don't think there's any sort of master plan to get India to anything like that. I just think that whoever the TV director were in that situation was doing it intentionally, or the equivalent of the TV director that runs the cameras for Star Sports.
Yes, it's a shame. It's a shame because it overshadows what was a pretty good day for India. it is the only real talking point from the game so far, which again is a shame. We've talked about, we're fans of other sport like football and other things, and certainly me, and I think you two as well, are massive advocates of the way cricket use technology. The DRS system is, for 100%. Me, the best technology system in world sport. It's used so well and everything else, and then you get incidents like this which sort of undermine the way it's used, which is a shame. But hopefully this is 1 in 1,000 and we don't see it again for the series or again. Well, that remains to be seen. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Northern Monkeys Cricket. And if you're a football fan, there's Northern Monkeys Football as well, if you fancy jumping on that one. It's the bottom right of your screen. Click the button monkey or the YouTube side of the bottom right-hand side of the screen on YouTube. That'll just subscribe automatically for you. And make sure you like the page and follow us on Twitter and Facebook, because we'll be doing daily one of these over the next, well, in theory, 5 days.
We'll be fine for Tuesday. Every day off Tuesday, no problem.
Yeah. So we'll come back tomorrow. We could be talking about, I genuinely don't know how many wickets we'll be talking about tomorrow. It could be 10. It could be 14. It could be 16, 17. We don't know. We will find out within 24 hours, I suppose. Thank you, Wayne. It's been a pleasure.
Love it as well.
Like that tomorrow. We can't see you today, and we like to see your pretty little face, so we'll sort that out.
I'm particularly worried by that comment, but I will sort it out.
And Mick, thank you for being prompt today.
Anytime, every time, in fact.
Every time. So follow Wayne's Finger and subscribe, and we shall see you all tomorrow at basically the same time. Cheers for watching, guys.
Subscribe. Subscribe.